Okay, so after your sad work last week, you take the poor deceased body of the witch back to Fandolin, and with only a little bit of signing, you send her body off to Neverwinter for a resurrection. She's possibly the first commoner who's had a level 5 resurrection. You've got one quest left, which is the Axeholm quest. They want to use the old dwarven fortress as a bomb shelter. The villagers will pack up all their belongings and move into Axeholm when you go and defeat the dragon, or fight the dragon at the very least. The dragon's been flying about more recently. I mean, other than the attack on the windmill, cattle going missing, there's been pigs going missing from Big Al's Rand.
I'd like to order a set of cold weather clothing.
They can put that together for you.
So,
I'll do the same.
I think I'm going to copy Andy. I think I had Davy saying me too as well.
So that's 3 cold weather clothing.
I will take cold weather clothing. Rick will take it as well.
Right, so you set out the next morning, you've put your order in, everybody's ordered clothes. We'll assume you put an extra order in for cold winter clothes for Bracey then, because we'll not.
Oh yeah, I'll pay for way Robs.
Well, not unnecessarily punish them, because that would be, although funny, it would not be fair. And it's only 15 miles south of Fandolin.
Davy, are you still taking your mule?
Don't have a mule. It's a warhorse. Yeah, I'll bring it. I'm not going to leave it behind. Don't know what the villagers might do to the poor thing.
We ordered that suit for it.
Yeah, so you've got some kind of comedy pantomime horse suit for
Rent a Ghost, that's what I remember.
Yeah. Dobbin, the ghost from Rent a Ghost. You've got some kind of comedy warhorse suit for Dave's horse, which, well, I'm sure we'll have to come up with something about that, yeah. It takes you only a couple of hours to hike down to Axeholm past Umbridge Mill. You pass and look up sadly at the broken down windmill. Its interior rooms open to the weather and the rain. You've got good directions because apparently it was a full-on dwarf fortress, so it was well hidden inside of the side of the mountain.
My cousin Barry used to work here.
Was it well hidden, but outside it has these giant minarets built into the side of a mountain?
Pretty much, yeah.
Every other one. So it's well hidden from the inside, but not so much the outside.
Right, thrust out from the base of a dark grey mountain is the entrance to the Dwarven Fortress, a dark 15-foot wide passageway flanked by a 40-foot high bulwarks of smooth, seamless stone, an iron portcullis covered with rust blocks the entrance. Arrow slits carved into the bulwark are dark, revealing no hint of occupation. You can see that it's almost part of the mountainside as you approach, and all is quiet. It's dark and ominous. And you've all got really good vision, so as you look through the portcullis, you can see as far as the other end of the corridor, which ends in a double door. Several sets of arrow slits precede either side.
Do I reckon I could squeeze through one of those arrow slits?
I could help you.
You could
Grease me up.
You could certainly. You would have to take your stuff off, and they would have to grease you up. And a naked little forest gnome could possibly, it looks like, be pushed through an arrow slit.
I've heard they do that in deep water some places.
I have also seen this film.
Can we just have a look at the doors and see if we can get through them?
No, I want to grease up naked Andy.
This does seem to be the most fun option.
Well, firstly, Andy is now a level 2 druid, so he can shape change.
That's probably easier, turn into a spider.
When he's a spider, can we grease him up?
Me with a pot of grease and I'll turn into a bear.
When he's a spider, we'll stick some grease on him.
I'm quite happy to sort of spider it up the wall and have a squint through the hole.
Could we take Davy's horse to bits, push it through the thing, and then it can get reassembled on the inside?
That's quite a fun idea.
Oh my god, that is the best plan I've ever heard.
And then it'll be able to turn the mech.
I don't know, but I am interested to see you try.
I mean,
do we need a manual of horse dismantlement?
I've got I'm apt in animal handling.
So basically, what you plan on doing is, while singing, the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone. You start pulling.
Funny bones.
like them bones, them horsey bones, them bones, them horsey bones.
I don't suppose there's any way of climbing up the outside if there's any way in further up. if like stood here as a gnome, if I look up, I can't say like any windows or openings or anything.
You can see arrow slits above you.
Right, but that's going to be the only way in, basically.
Or you could have a look on the roof.
Right. Well, in that case, what I'll do is I'll turn into a spider, I'll climb up and have a look at the roof, and then I'll come back down and nip in through one of those arrow slits and try and find the mechanism for raising the portcullis.
On the top, you see several what look like stone chimneys, but they've got the covers on, so
right.
You guess that they're maybe not chimneys as such, possibly air vents. Looks like if you smash the top off them.
So that's one option.
Yeah.
Well, I'd better come back down the wall and have a look in through one of those arrow slits and see if I can find where the mechanism is for the portcullis.
Do you just poke your head in either side to have a quick look?
You know where like the arrow slit is, there's like a windowsill bit.
Yeah.
I presume I can just stand on there and sort of just look in.
Yes, you can. Several baluster, they're simply on tracks, are rolled back, but pointing at the arrow slit. You look inside, you see a room with some stairs leading up.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides are the same. But on the western side, there's a big winch crank mechanism. It looks quite rusty, but it does look like it's intact.
I mean, how high are the walls, Rich?
The walls are about 40 foot high to get onto the roof bit where the air vents are. You've detected a vaguely sickly smell.
Yeah. But
Right.
potentially,
Do you
while
not-
I'm a spider, I could climb right up to the top, change back into a gnome, and then lower a rope down, and that should make the climbing easier.
You will
It's
indeed
also
get
good.
advantage if you do that.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Well, I'll climb back up to the
Aims,
roof,
mate.
secure the rope, lower the end of the rope back down, and then I'll stick my head over the edge and motion them to come up. I am not shouting or making a noise.
Climbing rolls with advantage if you wish to climb up. Unless you roll a 1, you don't fall. You all manage to climb safely onto the top, thanks to Andy's rope.
Now, I shall make sure at this point, when we're all together, that I whisper very quietly to the lads about this sickly smell that I smell through them arrow holes,
Good shout.
which makes me think undead of some sort.
It looks like you could pretty easily smash the metal cover off. It would make some noise, and then it would be wide enough for you to climb down.
Is there any way, using 2 sets of thieves' tools, we could remove the cover quietly?
I would say it would be difficulty 20, but I'm willing to let you have a go.
I have +8. Is that good?
Yeah, I have +8 as well. Well, you roll it.
You roll with advantage there, comrade. 23. Yeah, so you pull out your little squeaky oil cans and get... and you gently unscrew the top of this conical cover and lift it off between you.
Do you mind if I just say I knew that moustache wax had come in handy for something?
The darling moustache works.
But yeah, that's exactly what we should use.
It does look like you can climb down it. You peer down. It's dark down there. You can see that it opens into a room at the bottom. It looks like a fireplace, though, Andy, rather than an air vent, which is unusual for the design.
Right.
It looks like you'd be pulling a Santa. So who wishes to risk it?
I suggest one of the rogues goes down on the end of a rope, and if it all turns a bit airy, everybody else can pull the rope back up.
I will go.
Well, I could go because I'm lighter.
You should.
I mean,
go.
I don't mind being lowered down on a rope. So ideally, I can lower myself down, and then, you know, like from the inside, where like the arch at the top of the fireplace would be, if I can gently get hold of that with me sort of finger ends, and then kind of turn myself upside down a bit, so I can just peer out into the room without actually having to be lowered down. To that
so you're pulling a Tom Cruise, so you're going like...
That's exactly what I was.
Yeah, so I imagine this is Andy's being lowered down, Mission Impossible style, and then he rolls over inside the chimney, like tucks in and rolls over on the rope, and you lower him further down. You peer into a room, there's one door, Andy, and you have indeed come down a chimney.
Right.
It's very soot-stained in here. There's some other furniture, cots, tables and chairs. They're intact but covered in dust.
Would I be right in thinking I am alone?
You are alone. As far as you can see, there's nothing else in the room.
Jolly good. Does thieves can't cover sign language?
It does, yes.
Right. Well, in that case, I'll communicate this by sign language up to Kalash. You know, roughly sort of size, shape of the room, where the door is, the fact it's empty and covered in dust. And what do they want to do? Do they want to pull me up, and then we'll all come down, or do they want to sort of lower me down and then climb down afterwards?
It's lowering him down, and then we should.
So are you untying yourself, Andy, and moving into the room?
Checking for traps and all the rest of it, and then sneaking across to the door to have a listen.
So you sneak into the middle of the room here, you turn round, and above you on the fireplace wall that wasn't visible from inside the fireplace
Fair enough.
a large circular steel shield bearing the symbol of a dwarven gauntlet clutching a hand axe. And that is mounted a decorative style above the chimney.
Right, hang on. Mounted decoratively, but does it look like a proper, usable thing?
Oh yeah, it definitely looks like a real shield.
If he tells...
Do I reckon I can use it?
Yeah, no, you're a dude, you've got to use wooden shields.
Right.
Right.
Because otherwise I was going to lick my finger and write mine in the dust on it.
Andy, you move over to the door.
Yep, and have a listen.
An extremely sooty Sengo pops out from under the chimney. And who's coming down next?
I'll come down.
I'll shimmy down. Well, I'll leave the rope tied up there. I'll just shimmy down. We used to train on walls like this.
Andy, you listen at the door, fervently strain your little pointy ear, but you hear nothing upon the other side. It's all silent.
Right, I'll give them the thumbs up. All quiet on the Western Front, lads. I may, of course, be wrong. Your mileage may vary. And then I'm going to step back because I'm not going to be first through that door.
Rick will cast Mage Hand and turn the knob.
It creaks slowly on. Andy and Shash, you're looking into the room. You look ahead. The room opens up into a much larger chamber. One thing you do notice is as the door's pulled open, there's some thick spider webs are stuck to the door.
Do these look like, how can I put this, like natural spider webs that have built up over the time? Or do they look like nasty big giant spider webs?
They look like nasty big giant spider webs. Not going to lie to you.
Is somebody going to take that shield?
Rick, is your detect magic on? Did you see?
Yeah.
The shield does not detect as magical, but it's not rusted. It's in good condition.
Does that mean we might perceive that it means that it's been well cared for, i.e. there's still people around? Or that it's probably got, it's made out of fancy metal? It's like stainless steel.
It's probably stainless steel, or it'll have some kind of dwarven preservative on, like cupanol or wax or something.
Does exactly what it says on wooden box.
Exactly what it says on tin. Dwarves are Welsh in this, aren't they? It does exactly what it says on the tin there, boyo.
Well, I suppose it's a dwarf shield. I'm a dwarf. Unless anybody else wants it, I'll have it.
That sounds like fair enough to me.
That sounds fair enough.
So Sengo or Kalash, being the tall ones, can grab it off the wall. The others would have to make some kind of dwarf gnome pyramid.
I'm jumping up like a child at a Christmas, trying to grab the thing.
Eventually, you get sick of Rick jumping up and down like a small, excited child.
Sit down and says, "Fucking hey, man, hey, gun."
And one of you big lads passes it down to him. And like I said, all you can see in that corridor is thick spider webs.
Right. I go to the door and sort of peek me head out, look up and down.
Are spider webs flammable?
In my experience, yes.
Jolly good. Just checking.
Sengo, you look about, you see the front of the castle, and you see this large chamber extends over the outer gauntlet of the main entrance, and it looks like it contains many former defensive measures. Arrow slits allow outside light to filter through, and thick webs are strung between the walls and pillars.
I'm going to relay the message back what I've seen, and then I'm going to move further out so the boyos can come and follow me so they can.
Right, well, you better make a perception check there, boyo lad. The thick webs rub across your legs and you sort of swipe them to the side with your sword. Your razor-sharp sword easily cuts through them. Unfortunately, something giant and horrible falls from the ceiling and lands on you.
Try not to look like a fly.
Right, so since I've got my sword out, can I try and slice it with my razor-sharp sword?
Right, first of all, it's going to get a surprise attack on you. Right, so it bites you and misses. God damn it.
You should always say "God damn it" in Farmer Fran's voice. God damn it!
God damn son of a bitch, goddamn spiders can't even goddamn bite stupid adventurers. Right, so the guy's standing in the room. You see Sengo go out and sweep the webs to the side. Then this giant spider, which is 4 squares across, falls on top of him and attempts to sink its fangs into him, but it scratches across his shield. Where the fangs have dug into the shield, you see green poison running down the front of the shield. And we're going to initiative. Shashali and Europe first.
Yeah, I'll shoot it there.
An arrow sinks into the spider, releasing gooey ichor. And Dave, bonus action? Anything? A second arrow shoots out. Oh, hits. It's a good hit. So now you can use your Hunter's Prey damage roll, which has been previously set up by the GM. Whoever he is, he must be an awesome fucking GM. That's all I'm saying, to do all that work.
He's kind of good at computers.
I hear he's a gentle and giving lover as well.
That's my experience. I mean, I haven't heard such a thing.
Thwop, thwop. 2 arrows shoot out of the darkness and bury themselves into the spider. The spider falls to the ground. It's like twitching in the air. Also, Andy, because you've now seen a giant spider, you can change into a giant spider. Sengo.
Stick them on. Are we still in combat, like?
Oh yeah. Perception check, Sengo.
Another one?
Yeah, another one. Yeah. You don't say anything?
Look up.
Right, so Sengo turns around and then starts looking at this spider and going, oh yeah, we can definitely. It's Rick's turn.
I will. Oh. I'm going to have to move up towards the doorway. Okay, I'm going to move through the doorway then and go here. Actually, no, I'm going to go there if I can. Yeah, have I got enough room?
Richard gets upset if you put her over the lines, man.
I don't fucking cross the lines. If you step on a crack, the GM will break your back.
I think all right, but I don't know if I had enough room.
Can you roll a perception check, please? You've got to beat 22.
No, I can't.
You don't say anything. Next up, we have Kalash.
I will rush towards the spider.
Right, remember that one's dead.
And haven't spotted the fact there could be another one around.
No, everybody just seems to be like, yeah, we killed it, we're awesome, us.
I will go, spiders, I'll start cutting my way through the webs towards them, and I'll look up.
You've seen you've seen something move lurking behind those dwarven pillars at the bottom of the room. You know the way those spiders slowly move one leg at a time? This thing is slowly crawling forward towards the north end of the room.
It's too far for us to do anything. Target it, which means I'm keeping an eye on it. Keep an eye out, check your corners.
Darren, on the wall behind you, you hear just a slight skittering noise. Turn to the side, and it's on the side of the wall, right next to you. It lunges out, making an awful hiss noise that spiders don't make, but sounds great on a movie. It hits.
Oh, it does.
It does 9 damage. You feel the burn as venom pours in the wound. Yeah, so you take 6 poison damage.
Barely a tickle spider.
Right, next up is, oh dear indeed. Looming along the ceiling, Earl, right next to you has popped this spider, but you notice it at the last second.
I will swap that spider.
It seems to be crawling towards Sengo. God damn it, Earl, you see another one. Crawling across the roof, trying to get towards you. You and your damn perception.
There are so many of them. This could all end very badly.
So that is the situation as we know it. Ethical, you haven't seen any of these other spiders, but Earl has let out a hiss saying, there's more of them out here.
Right. To the doorway. I'll go there.
Right, so you step into the doorway and make a perception check. You just have to beat the combined sneakiness of these spiders.
I was going to say, looking up at the ceiling.
And, one of them's on the wall, 2 of them's on the ceiling. You see those 4 spiders. They think they have the drop on you, and it looks like they're rubbing their tummies with their little legs and making the num, num, num noise.
I shall ready weapons and hide.
Okay. Shashalian, you're up. Shashalian moves outside. Rolls a perception check to see if you can see any of these spiders. Damn you, Davey. Right, you see all of the spiders. You can target and shoot at any of them because of your marksman.
And I use my marksman aimed.
Oh, it's a hit. An arrow thunks into another spider. Doing heavy damage to it. Nice. It rears up and goes, yeah, and horrible ichor spews forth from where the arrow's stuck in it.
I've got another attack on it. I'll do a normal career bonus thing.
Your second arrow flies through. Go ahead, roll the hit. Oh, it's a big hit. The arrow thunks into the fat jelly body. Body damage. It lets out a little squeak that looks like it's got dying written on it. It goes squee, Rick, and it goes flop and falls dead on the floor next to you. Legs
I
twitching.
give it a small kick.
Yeah, bloody thing.
I'll move back.
Single.
So if I move to that square next door to Kalash, can I hit that spider there?
Yes.
So I'm going to just attack that, so I get 2 attacks on it. And it's just a single-handed strike, isn't it?
It is, yes. Single-handed normal strike. And you miss. And you hit.
I'll move. Focus on one at a time. Yeah, I'm going to move there. And I'm going to see if this works. There we go. I've cursed the giant spider.
Yeah, it's got curse on it and everything.
And then I shall just attack the thing with
Bash
my
its head in.
Warhammer. I curse you.
I curse you.
I've dropped my hammer.
Is that your turn?
Bugger it,
Finished?
Millennium Prawn and Shrimp. Yeah, that was a bonus action, the curse. And I'd already moved, yeah, it's everything. That would have been so spectacular if it hadn't been awful.
Next up is Kalash.
One that has not seen me, I will step up to it and stab it between the eyes. I pretend French for some reason. I do not know what that is.
That is a hit. There's lots of damage coming. Boom! Get down. The spider is extremely badly injured, but has not gone down.
You have to be looking the wrong way.
And what do you want to do with your bonus action?
And I will slide and hide.
Giant Spider 1 is dead. 2 is dead. 3 is badly injured. He's like, Arg, you fex. He bites at Single. He hits. He does 5 damage. You succeed. And you take half damage. Alright, we got Giant Spider 4. He steps forward and bites at Rick.
Get off, you bastard.
Oosh, not nice.
I said get off, I didn't say hit me.
He bites you. You feel your save. You feel the poison bite into you.
Oh.
And Rick, suddenly, he sort of contorts and he's paralysed and he sort of looks over at Clash and he's like, number 5. So it's going to run round the side and I guess it's going to try and bite Single because it's not attacking Darren because he's already ready for eating. It hits. Take a point of damage.
You bastard.
Ettigal, you're last.
Right, I had better target a spider, and then I'm just going to stick my head out far enough to get a shot off with me short.
It's a good hit.
It's a good hit, so let's have a look, see. Pick the bones out of that.
You do heavy damage to the spider. It looks extremely badly hurt.
And then I had better...
Hide. Top of the round, Shashelian, it's your go.
I'm just going to attack the one that's on the stairs.
There's one heavily wounded, one mediumly wounded, and the one that's trying to drag Darren off is unwounded. You hit. Damage 8 to Giant Spider 5. The second attack hits. Oh, it goes down. It flops on the floor.
Dave Spider death.
Hear me roar.
Sengo, you are up. You have been seriously gnashed upon.
I'm going to go again, the single-handed longsword attack on that one.
You miss.
And then same thing again. That's a hit. And then that
Minimum
one again.
damage again. There's one spider left. So we're up to Kalash.
I will race over and stab it to death.
So you miss, even with a sneak attack.
I'll stamp on Rick so that the spider can't get him away.
Right, okay. So you put your foot on Rick, and he's like, oh yeah! Oh, that bloody hurts! The spider gets an 8. You get 1. The spider does actually grab Rick and pulls him free from under your boot. However, you do get an attack of opportunity as it's moving away from you, dragging the paralysed Rick. And you're like, get off, you gugger, get off! The spider drags him off, looking to make Kentucky Fried Rick.
Don't you mean Kentucky Fried Ricken?
Finally, Ettigal.
Right, hang on. I'll just target this spider.
Crits. Lots of dice are rolled. It does an incredibly heavy wound. It goes, aye, you bugger. Leaves go of Rick. It's going to make a run for the other fireplace on the other wall. Top of the round.
I can move 7 squares, can't I?
Oh, nice.
It's definitely going down.
Oh, well held.
True.
Hunter's Brain also does double damage. It's going to be some damage that's like, oh, look at that. How do you kill this spider, Dave?
Basically, the arrow slices it in half lengthwise.
Right, the two halves of the spider crash to the ground and 4 individual legs go on both sides. And that is the end of the combat. Now you've had the time to examine this room. The other side of the room is symmetrical to the first one. What you can see in the centre is the space where the portcullis is pulled up into. The room is covered in webs and thus is undisturbed, seemingly indicating that only the spiders have been in this room. There's a door on the opposite side, facing the one you came in, and there's 2 chimneys in this room, in the southwest and southeast of the wall. You can definitely smell that sickly smell that Andy was describing. What would you like to do?
Somebody should go across and listen at that other door.
To be honest with you, me and Andy's had great success investigating fireplaces in the past, so I think I might go and investigate the fireplace on the bottom left-hand side.
There's nothing you find inside the fireplace, but you look down and it looks to go down to the lower level, but there's a metal grate going across it to stop things either coming up or going down. Due to the defensive nature of this room, it's probably to stop people getting up when they're pouring boiling oil on people and spoiling their fun.
Nice.
Andy, you don't hear anything on the other side of the door.
Right, I'm going to go across to the other fireplace and I'm going to investigate that one as well.
But you don't find anything in them. And again, they've got the metal grating in.
I want to have a look through that arrow slits, Rich.
Right, inside of that, Craig, you see a great hall. It looks about 40 feet high ceiling, supported by 4 thick stone pillars. Inside you see a thick layer of dust covering the flagstone floor. That looks like some kind of main mustering hall. There's nothing inside there that you see.
I am going to move over to where Sengo is and use Mage Hand to open the door, if that's all right.
Yeah, you pop the door open and instantly a foul stench comes pouring out through the room. On the other side of the door, all you can see is trashed furniture, but it looks like it's been deliberately broken. Can I just ask, if you lie on your Mage Hand for 10 minutes, does it feel like somebody else is casting it? You do see evidence of claw marks in the wood, and the place stinks to high heaven. Sengo's steps gingerly into this room, and he says, "There's another door in here."
Right, I shall creep into the room.
We pull the door open, and if anything, the smell gets even stronger, and it's absolutely horrendous. And inside, it's the start of a room, but through the mountain, it looks like a tunnel has been dug. The tunnel in the wall is only 5 feet high, and it seems to slope slightly downwards. This is definitely not dwarf architecture.
Alternatively,
we could just shut the door like Andy said.
And put a spike in to stop something else opening it and then go down the stairs.
Good plan.
So you pound a metal spike into the door. It echoes.
You going to split the party or just keep everybody together?
No,
We should absolutely never split the party.
Right, so let's go down the stairs.
We're now on the other map. You come down the stairs, you see a door, you see a hand crank, and it looks like the hand crank has been designed by dwarves in such a way that either side can raise the portcullis. It contains 7 baluster pointing at arrow slits on little tracks so they can be slid backwards and reloaded. And a winch that lowers the portcullis and a stone staircase. Against each baluster are 5 bolts. And there's a door in the eastern wall.
Let's go through that door, lads.
Well, you haven't discovered a method to get to the double front doors yet. The ones with the murder holes above them.
So Rick will move over.
You start to turn it, and it does work. However, it makes a horrendous squeaking and grinding noise, which sounds loud enough to wake the dead. The portcullis raises a foot off the ground.
Has anybody got any WD-40?
We should wax it and then do it again.
Basically, Rick, you wind it up a little bit, and everybody goes, "Shh, man, come on, fucking hell, that's noisy."
Through the door.
Right, you push the door open, El.
I'm going to have a quick squire for traps.
You run your fingers briefly over the door.
Not 20.
Right, there's no traps. A small corridor heads off to the south.
Step in the corridor.
You see a corridor that heads off into the wild blue yonder. And you can see, just at the very edge of your dark vision, it opens into a room. Clash says, there is a room. And you go, yes, I can see the far wall.
So, like, we'll cautiously move down this thing before we get to that, like, little crevice on the left-hand side.
Right.
And then, investigate that crevice. That's what I'm doing.
So, roll a stealth check. You accidentally catch your shield on the wall as you walk along and it goes... You reach the passage and it looks to have been dug with the same claws that you noticed above. There's not a thick covering of dust around here, thus indicating that these corridors have been travelled.
I'll go forward with him.
Right, I'm going to go all the way down.
Right, you look into the room. It absolutely stinks in here. The back wall of the room has been collapsed in and only a few columns of rock hold it upright. The eastern half of the room is strewn with debris. And there's a room to the south, the double doors to the west, and it looks like there's something beyond the collapsed wall.
Can I use detect magic again?
You are not detecting no magic.
I will get my thieves' tools out and do a proper.
No, there's no traps upon this door.
Quietly confident we are free of trap.
I'm going to gingerly push them open.
Inside is the lower floor of that mustering hall. You push it open, double doors on the opposite side, but it's barred on this side.
I want to investigate this room.
You walk around the room and it's exactly as described.
Right, we've got options here, lads, and we've got 3 doors.
Are the rest of you moving into the room?
Yes, I will move into the room.
Right, so you move into the room, you push the door open, it makes a slight creaking noise as you push it into the room. Are you moving the bar off the main gate? Because that's what's holding the main gate shut, but it'll take 2 years to lift.
Shouldn't we? So we've got a better way of escape if we need it. I'll need help from someone.
Go on, then that'll be it.
Right, so you lift the bar, and the thick dwarven gates can now be pushed open. Right, so you stand in the middle of this room now, discussing your options. As you've moved into this, the smell of death gets less. So it was getting stronger as you came down the stairs and moved through that room until it got really strong, but as you're moving away from it, it seems to be coming from the other direction.
It's interesting.
So let's go back into that room and then have a little look through that door.
You push the door open. Inside you see an empty room with just a thick layer of dust on the floor.
Walk through this.
Yeah, Rick's going to go and have a little nosy shuffle.
You can see there's a corridor behind that bit.
Interested party assemble.
Does anybody have any preference?
I always like to go left.
You peer forward. You see an empty cavern which seems to be partially collapsed out of the mountainside.
Well, I am going to go and try and investigate this other tunnel. Down the bottom tunnel.
Right, okay. So you look down the tunnel and it goes south for a bit. Make a perception check, please. An 8. Oh, shit. Right, you don't see anything. You hear coming from down the corridor. You only get a second's warning before horrible grey-skinned humanoids clad in scraps of clothing with long fangs and claws come pouring down the corridor.
Actual like ghouls.
Actual like ghouls crawling along the sides of the walls and along the ceiling and crawling over each other. Okay, Shash. To shoot with a bow, you'd have to move past Rick and Sengo and move into the corridor, which looks just wide enough to fit one person.
Nah, it's okay. I'll just move there.
You step back against the wall and just hold. Sengo, you're up next.
I am going to whip out my crossbow and I am going to shoot it. Resting me crossbow on Rick's head for stability.
Yeah. I'm not having that, Chuck.
You miss. What are you doing for your bonus action?
I am fucking hightailing it away.
Edgar, you're up.
So Sengo's running away.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign.
That's what I do.
Right. Edgar runs around the corner and hides, presumably.
Oh, yeah.
Kalash.
I will stop messing about with the door since we're killing things. And I will move into here to get an ambush position.
Earl, you get an attack on that one. It bounds out of nowhere, teeth and claws flashing as it goes for Rick. It hits. Go on, roll your damage.
Oh, all of the damage.
Right, so how do you kill this thing?
Just raise my sword, so as it jumps, it literally jumps through my sword and slits its own head off.
Number 3. He runs over, still only seeing Rick, and he bites at you, Rick.
Rude.
Oh, I think he misses, though.
He does miss.
Claws at you as well. Slashes at you with his long claws, hitting. Rick's heavily damaged. Rick succeeds. Right, Rick, you feel your muscles all tensing up, but you manage to shrug the effect off. Finally, Rick, you are last.
Right.
I will disengage.
There are only 4 of them. They're not that tough, are they? I'm not running now. Maybe it's the beer, but I'm not running. Right, I'm gonna curse the first one.
It's dwarf versus dwarf in the undead battle of the century.
17.
You hit! Hooray! You bring your Warhammer down with a mighty smash.
I did. Right, and then 10 damage.
End of turn. Shashalin.
I shoot the one that's still up next to Rick.
Crit. Oof.
You're a very good shooter.
Exceeds hit points by 18. Right, how do you kill this girl then, Dave?
Straight through the head into the other one by its dead friend.
You shoot it through the head there, and it nails the head to the other girl that's coming up behind it. Right, that one is dead. And now what do you do to the next girl in line? Shoot your score. Go on. And misses with the second one. Sengo, you're up next.
I'm going to take me 6 steps to there. I'm going to rage, and then if I hold my action, when those girls come, I get a turn to hit them, don't I?
You do, yes. Ethical.
I want the door open so that I can cast Hailing Word on Rick. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Kalash.
I'll step round that corner. As it's focused on Rick, I'll attack it and then hide back round against the wall.
You hit. The girl's wounded. Now it's the girl's turn. They rush forward to attack Rick. Sengo, you get an attack first. You miss. So you're going to re-roll that, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Sengo with these 20s. So you slash at it, cut its guts open, and rotten intestines fall out upon the floor. Unfortunately, now it gets to go. Right, I'm going to go high-low. Craig, do you want to be high or low?
Low.
Low it is. So it bites at you with its long, rotten teeth. It hits, and it does 9 damage. And then the dangerous bit, it slashes with its claws, hitting. You succeed. So you feel the poison on its claws, and your muscles start to crump up. But again, you just like steel yourself, and you're like, "Is that all you got?" Next up is skill 4, who can only get to poor Rick. Automatically misses, and finally Rick.
I will, as a bonus, I will hex to Ghoul 2. And then I will Warhammer it. 15? Is that a hit?
It is.
So that should be 14 damage altogether.
New turn, Chaselian.
Right. I'll shoot.
No, really? Your hits. Goes down. How do you kill that one?
Straight through its cold, dead heart.
You got another shot against the second one, yeah? It's just like Crow from Hawk the Slayer. And like arrows just sticking in these dead things. Dave actually skips frames when he's firing, so it's just like... and things just fall dead. Sengo, you're up again.
I'm going to step past Darren. I'm going to gun for a mighty stroke.
Oh, he misses.
And then I'm going to just gun for a regular like whack that hits.
So how do you kill that one?
Swing for it when I miss, then I sort of like just bring my sword back round my head and like slice back down from its like shoulder into its stomach. Pull my sword back out and I target that one. Again, a double-handed regular miss.
Ethical.
I am going to hold my action.
Kalash, there's one left.
I will move past him into the corridor and stab it.
You hit. So you kill that one as well. Wow. Single hitter.
Slide between its legs and slice it from stem to stern. I think we should check the next room unless someone's got something pressing.
Let's check the next room.
Right, so you head down the corridor, turns south, and then opens into a chamber, which is obviously a partially collapsed one. And then it opens into a room that they obviously were using as a den. You don't hear any more noises. But if you put your head round, you can see there's a room with some stairs in. The chamber was once a shrine, evidenced by wall carvings that depict dwarves carrying censers and observing religious rites. However, the eastern section of the room has collapsed, filling the area with rubble. Gnawed bones lie scattered among the debris, are remains of a number of dwarves.
Would I be related to any of them?
Possibly. Roll a d20. If you get a 19 or 20, you're related to one of them. You are as far from related to them as possible.
You're not even the same species.
Right.
I'll move through.
Right, Rick, you detect magic.
Yeah.
You get to there and you detect magic.
We should be a little careful.
What you have actually found is a ghoul den, and that is as awful as it sounds, with bits of gnawed bones.
Can I go and investigate that?
Rick, he moves a couple of bits of rubble. You see a platinum amulet on a chain. This is not detecting as magical, but it's on the way to what you're finding. You're a dwarf, you know it's a holy symbol of Moradin.
All right.
And you find a small steel coffer weighing about £5 underneath a rock in the corner. That's what's detecting magic.
Okay, can I open it up?
You can. It's not locked. The box is packed with salt, nestled in which is a potion. Then you can do a taste, and that'll tell you what it is.
Can I have that amulet as well? Might as well have it.
So that's all you find in the room.
All right, he'll put his finger in and test it.
It's a potion of superior healing.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's where we will leave it for tonight.